Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan podcast. I'm your host, Ollie Fisher, joined once again by Anthony Tallgrew.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back. We have Madison again.
You act surprised.
I'll always act surprised every week.
He acted deflated, I'd say. We've got Madison.
Yeah. Great.
Here
He's
we
here
go.
again. He's just going to sit here and not say anything. Great.
I woke up and saw the chat, and obviously Lorenzo was joking, saying it was me rambling in the comments. But I really was like, okay, what did I get hate for this time? Like, first thing I see.
Was it hate on me?
No, it was just some fool.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just rambling, spelled wasting wrong.
Barely, I couldn't really understand at all what was being said in the comment, to be honest.
I only read half of it.
But it was someone having a go at Brits, so I think it was me that was on the end of it.
That makes sense because you do ramble.
It was I'm assuming the article about Pulisic being linked back to the Premier League, and it was saying like Pulisic's bigger than Milan, and I was like, chill, bro.
He did, yeah.
Like,
that was the way he ended his comment. Fair, I don't mind being called an ignorant Brit for saying that Pulisic, and it wasn't me who said it, but the report said Pulisic could be sold for 60 mil, and they were like, "That you don't know what you're talking about, typical ignorant Brit." And I'm like, I didn't set the price. But
ignorant, like that's too much or too low?
Too low. I think he thinks he's a 100 million player or something.
That's
like
a lie. When I saw that he was like 60, I was like, that's good. Like we got him for like 15. That's a huge.
I think we could probably get a little bit more for that if he continues his form. But yeah, I mean, he's not
as a fan of the U.S. national team. I don't want him to leave because he's going to go back to England and do shit all. Like,
I hope we have unrealistic price tag on him of 100 mil, so no one comes knocking. So just keep him.
Selling him would be worse than selling Lyon, in my opinion.
At this point, maybe, but we'll see.
I think we'd get less. So it depends what your view is on that,
Yeah.
But
well, in terms of output on the field,
it's been good this season. Been good since he joined. All right, let me do the Substack thing. Then we can continue that.
Backwards?
It's not a bad topic. No, I'm not doing it backwards.
Please, not backwards. That took so long.
Yeah, people liked it though. So
oh my god,
I got a lot of praising. You can just zone out for 2 minutes though. You just look at your phone for 2 minutes if you want. I'm not going to do it backwards anyway.
I do.
Thank you.
I do
it for 50 minutes an episode. Thank you to our Substack founding members: Des Windsor McGlynn, Tito, Mac Morris, Pullman, Joey Gawler, Kevin MJ, Mats, Luke Villano, Raul Escobar, Jack Carlo Fassi, Nasser Merlin, Flinker, Derek Favretto, Heavenly 13, Mike Schulz, JT Physio, Tarek, Marco Vilea, and Roberto Racinos. That list, as much as we love you all, has remained at the same amount for some time now. So let's get that list growing again, get it towards the 30 mark before the end of the year. That would be nice. But yeah, appreciate all the support over on the Substack. As a reminder, you can try a week for free. And this is how the last week looked over on there, if you want an example of how a cycle looks. The pub chat that Lorenzo and Stefano did was about the true effects of Sully Montari's ghost goal against Juventus in the 2011-12 season. Obviously, no, if the ball crossed the line, it wasn't given. The fallout afterwards was explosive, to say the least, and we probably would have gone on to win the league that year, but they go on to talk about the knock-on effects from that, including some big sales that came. You two boys took the lead on the bonus pod because I was in Greece. You did Banter Era favourites.
That was fun.
Give us a little teaser on that. A couple of names that made it in.
Kuchka.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kuchka was in there.
Balotelli.
Yeah, that was obvious one. Who was a fun one? Yeah. Niang was in there. Antonelli. Zaccardo got one. You put Montalivo.
I put my fucking hate Montalivo.
But you put wasn't favorites.
Yeah.
Because the Banter Era sucks. So you have to put your if you don't have Montalivo in
the only person
starting 11, then you have no reason making a starting 11 for the Banter Era because he was like the epitome.
The symbol of it is the captain, right?
Yeah.
Someone I should have put in that I completely forgot to mention was Andrea Poli. That was my boy, man.
I forgot about Poli.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Didn't he go? Where did he go after us?
Hell, I don't know.
No, but didn't he end up back
Genoa?
Did he go to Genoa, Bologna?
One of them.
Team that played red and blue, yeah. Irby Emanuelson, Michael Essien.
He's in Serie D right now for Pro Sesto. Wow.
Who, Poli?
Yeah, he went to Bologna.
How old?
Wow.
He's how old?
35.
Oh, poor guy. He's probably making he's probably not even making enough money to survive.
Yeah, he might be on a bad
Two
salary
jobs.
now, but I think he's banked a fair bit.
Oh,
during his
yeah,
career.
but he's probably just playing to play, right? He's obviously not doing it to,
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He's
not
one of those who
delivering
you,
refrigerators or anything.
Oh, bless Junior.
You're not wrong there.
Polly is one of those names that you hear has become the head coach of Cosenza or something, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about his existence. And then next thing you know, he's managing in Serie A for Salernitana or something. Yeah. Anyway, go check that out. That was banter your
600,000
favorites.
euros. Never mind, that was in 2012. Oof.
That's probably what he got with us, no?
Yeah, that was Bologna. Yeah, I can't find his current salary. I don't know if Serie D just doesn't report it or.
They probably don't have to because they will have to publish their accounts. The bonus article that Isaac did was about the new UEFA cost control pillar that's come in. Many of you will know it as the squad cost to revenue ratio that's coming in to basically override financial fair play. He did a good breakdown on how the system works and, more importantly, where Milan stand with it. And the answer is we are very much on the favourable side of it at the moment, and there could be some scope to increase our squad costs as long as the revenues keep going up as well. But there's a bit of a comparison with Inter and Juve in there, who are not. Inter aren't too bad with it, but Juve are not abiding by it. So they could run into some problems. Definitely worth going and having a read of that. Then there was the newsletter as well. A bit of a recap of what this international break in particular means to Milan, and the two sides of having players there to work with versus having 15 internationals who go away, so you can't really work on things. And there was a news bulletin in there as well, which recaps the best stories from the previous week. So yeah, that's all on the Substack. Go check it out. You can try a week for free. And international break is almost over. There's some games tonight and tomorrow. When's the USA's second game? Do you have another game?
I think
tonight?
When was our first one?
Thursday. We were talking during the game.
Shit, I don't remember it. What was it?
USA Jamaica.
What was the score?
1-0.
For who? I don't know.
USA.
Didn't Pulisic get an assist?
I think so.
There's only one way to find out. Go to FOTMob.
FOTMob the hell out of that shit. So that's good. So if you play tonight, that means you'll probably come back on Wednesday.
Yes, Pulisic got an assist. God, that field was horrible. We were talking about the condition of the field.
Yeah, we were actually. Okay, maybe I did watch it.
Shows
but
how
the goal is in the
memorable
5th
your
minute,
conversations
so
are.
I know it was.
Pochettino was probably like, "What did I get myself into? I'm coaching in Kingston, Jamaica, and the field is as tall as my ankles."
Hey man, you've been to Jamaica. It's nice.
I didn't go to Kingston.
Never left the safety of your resort.
No.
Fake traveler.
I don't care. I want to hang out with the Rastafari guys.
Yeah.
Bit of Bob Marley.
A little bit.
Did you do any ganja while you were over there?
No.
You get demonetized for this. Yeah. Anyway, so Pulisic has got an assist, and hopefully he doesn't start again tonight / early hours tomorrow morning. Because we need.
I hope he does start. We need him to win.
Fuck you lot. Like nobody cares. So
this is the Nations League, bro.
Yeah, it's like the only thing that we win.
Prestigious. We've won it every single year since they've made it, right? We're the only.
Is it 1 out of 1?
No, it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
How many has England won?
I don't know.
Won any of
real
the
teams though.
One. Yeah, we got to the semis once, I think. We won our group this time, though. We beat. Who did we beat? We beat Greece, which I was there for. 1-3-0. Beat Ireland 5-0 yesterday. That was good.
I saw that.
Derby Day, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started it was 53rd, and they just went off.
Yeah. Bless Ireland. They tried. They were awful.
It's all
pathetic.
Did we not have to do a group stage, Madison?
We never do.
Why
Is
not?
it because there's not enough countries? It's like quite small.
No, there are. There's all shit.
Yeah. No, they do. This is so stupid. They do a Group B1, Group B2, Group B3, Group B4, Group A 1 and 2, and Group C 1 through 3.
What are you in?
None. It doesn't have us in
Yeah,
there.
we
We're in the
just
knockout.
automatically qualify.
We're just we're better than that.
That's
We don't have to
really
play
strange.
against the islands.
I
I
wondered
guess.
if there's like loads of Caribbean islands in there.
There
I
are
guess,
like
in
Cayman,
there.
British
Oh,
Virgin,
huge.
St. Kitts and Nevis, Turks Caicos, Anguilla, Belize,
Our
Barbados.
confederation is literally just island countries: Mexico, Central America,
Yeah,
and Canada. That's why people want us to join this South American. Because like
I feel like that's a natural like step, to be honest. You know.
yeah, I agree. I mean,
Combine
they'll
the
like
two.
they invite random countries often though. Like Saudi Arabia comes in it, right? Weren't they in the last one or something?
for
I have
what?
no idea.
I don't know. I just know they invite random countries to whatever
Who's they?
FIFA.
CONCACAF, whatever our organization is.
This, yeah. For the
Unwell-
Gold Cup.
Yeah, there you go,
invite,
for
like
Gold Cup.
Qatar and
Yeah,
Saudi
Qatar was
Arabia
in
or
it,
something.
yeah.
Why? That is really strange.
Money,
Don't
that's
like
why.
that. Yeah, but Saudi paying millions and millions to be part of it? Maybe. I don't know.
It's better than playing like Afghanistan
Well,
or
I mean,
Kyrgyzstan or
Kyrgyzstan.
any stand country. Like, you know,
Just making
they need
up
better
stands
competition
now.
too.
What
I think
about
they would be better
Eminem's stand?
competition than St. Kitts and Nevis. Like,
Yeah.
name one player
Antigua.
from St. Kitts. You can't.
Nope, can't do it. Can't do it. I know a few of the Jamaica players. I think Mikhail Antonio
Leon
plays for
Bailey.
them. Leon Bailey, yeah.
That's the only one I know.
And they're managed by Steve McLaren, I think.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Very funny. That's funny in itself, really. Elsewhere in international news, Rafa Leão scored for Portugal against Poland, and a bit like the England-Ireland game, they were finding it tough. It took them 50-something minutes to break the deadlock. Leão's goal was really, really good. Picked the ball up deep in his own half, ran with it for about 40 yards, played it wide to the left, and then got on the end of a cross. Scored a rare-headed goal. So that's good to see for Rafa, because he continues his form. You know, really good performance at the Bernabeu, scored what should have been a match-winning brace against Cagliari, but for the defence shit in the bed late on, and scores for his country now as well, because I feel like the jury is still out with Leão and Portugal. You know, he's not necessarily a guaranteed starter because they've got plenty of forwards. He didn't have a brilliant Euros, to be honest. Got booked in the first couple of games for diving in both of them, and then kind of lost his spot, but the potential's there. It's just that at international level, you can't really build a system around one player unless it's like Haaland with Norway or whatever. Then you're obviously going to do it. But for Portugal, if you are going to do it, it's not Leão. It's Ronaldo or it's Bruno Fernandes. So
That's what I was going to
good
ask. Is
different again.
Ronaldo still starting for them?
I think so. I think he scored twice in that particular game, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I heard. I saw he gave an interview and said he wants to be at the 2026 World Cup as well and be the first player to go to 6 World Cups or something.
Is he even allowed in the country? I'm not even joking.
I think it was dropped. I think that lawsuit was dropped.
Okay, right.
Probably some limitations thing being surpassed.
It was statute of limitations, yeah.
Of course it was.
Just fucking avoid it. Just run away forever.
Yeah, he scored twice in that game. One of them was a penalty. And yeah, Leão got the start on the left of a front three. So he switched to a 4-3-3 there. Do you know what? The Portugal team is really good, isn't it, on paper? Really, really good. Midfield three, Bruno Fernandes, João Neves, Bernardo Silva. Front three of Leão, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Pedro Neto. It's just a good team.
Who's their
they might be dark horses.
Manager? Martinez?
Roberto Martinez, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they had like João Felix coming off the bench. That Conceição, who's at Juve, of course, Vitinha. João Cancelo doesn't start for them anymore. Yeah, there's a bit going on with Portugal. Bit of a golden age for them potentially coming because a lot of those are young. What else have we got? Reinders, still very important for the Netherlands, as we probably have come to expect. He is immovable. The problem is that like he's playing every minute of every game at the moment, and I'm just worried that
don't be that good.
That's the message.
That's the issue. He's really good.
Been worse. But no, I mean it's good because the confidence continues for him as well. Let me just rewind to the Lyon thing, actually, because he gave an interview after the first game that he played, and there were some interesting comments because naturally he got asked about what's been happening at club level, and he said, I'm having great seasons at AC Milan. The season just started. Obviously, I'm not the perfect player. There are times when I can do much better, also because I'm very self-critical. The criticisms don't shape me, though. I have people at Milan and the national team who help me grow. He said he really likes being a Milan player, which is good. And he got asked about what happened with Fonseca, and he said, these things happen. I have nothing against the coach. It's a resolved issue. I don't like being on the bench. I always like helping the team. The decisions must be made by the coach. I always try to give my best. I mean, he answered it with a pretty straight bat, I would say.
Yeah.
But they were nice comments that he's happy to be here because there are some things circling, or there have been, about potentially moving to PSG or to Barcelona or whatever. But he said, yeah, all good. Things with Fonseca. He did say there was an issue that's been resolved. So maybe it's true that they had a bit of a clash, which I guess is natural. Because
I didn't know they did. I'm so out of the loop right now. This is my first time hearing about it.
No, I don't think that there was like a public clash. I think there was like a rumor because he doesn't fit Fonseca's playing style, right? And then he was benched, so people were just like, "Is he his best player?" When did Lyon get benched?
He got benched for 3 league games in a row.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think you said Reinders. That's what I was like.
No, sorry, I doubled back.
I was like, where have you been the past 2 months?
Bro, I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute, was he not playing too? I was like, I swear he's scoring every game. Okay.
You just had a Maddie moment, dog.
Dude, I
pay
had
attention.
Nah, I confused that because I was meant to mention the comments, then I went to Reinders and forgot, so I had to come back. But Reinders said something as well, which was he gave an interview to Di Marzio, which has come out like a few hours ago. Said, we are discussing a renewal at the moment, but I can't say anymore. However, I see myself at Milan until I'm in my 30s. It's one of the most beautiful clubs in the world, and it's an honour to play there. Wearing Cruyff's number 14 shirt is very special, and I'm very happy at Milan. Good.
Gotcha.
Get the renewal done. Love that. Yeah. Give him the armband. Fuck it. Give everyone the armband. Send them all out with an armband on. Would that be allowed? I think
Give
so.
them all a purple patch, if you will.
Nice. I like that. So yeah, that's that. And then what else have we got? Who else plays for who? Pavlovic, I think, didn't start Serbia's game because he gave an interview where there was only one interesting line, and he said something along the lines of, I don't like having to sit and watch my teammates. It's difficult. I think it was also aimed a bit at the fact he hasn't been playing much for Milan recently, but get better. Like that will probably be my, as harsh as it sounds.
Let's be careful because if he was playing too much, we'd be telling him to play less. So
play less. Or
can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. So that's Pavlo, but they're playing tonight as well. Morata is fine. He came off the bench and played 20 minutes for Spain in their game against, I believe, Switzerland. Too many minutes. But I am surprised by that though, because it was reported, should I say, that he had to spend 10 days out, Morata, after that head injury. And Fonseca said, I don't understand how De La Fuente saying he should be fine to play. We got told 10-day protocol. That's why he had to miss the Cagliari game and stuff like that. But he was clearly fit enough. He passed the tests and he played for 20 minutes. And he's expected to start for Spain tonight. Now, I'm not as against that because we kind of need him back in match rhythm for Saturday. The game we're going to come on to. So for once, yes, more minutes for him. Who else have we got that plays international football? Kamada scored for Italy under 19s, which is good. You consider that he's playing 3 ages up. Like, he could still be playing for the under 16s. Even though he is 16, right. He could still play under 16s if he wants. He's playing under 19s and he's scoring. That's good. Good shit. That's it, I think, innit?
Yeah, Musa played as well. I don't think he did anything. But no, he was on the field.
He looked good. He played on the wing.
Yeah, I think maybe
on the wing, did
he? Be our right back, you know? I don't want to see Emerson. Did Emerson get caught up?
Did he? Fuck. Oh, no, he didn't.
Who is he a nationality for? Is he English?
Brazil.
Emerson?
How could he be?
I have no idea, dude.
Have you seen him before?
Yeah, Mason Holgate is English. What are you saying?
I don't know who Mason Holgate is.
Exactly.
I do, but I don't think it's quite the same as Emerson Royal de Souza or whatever he's called.
I don't know.
He
came
played
from
he's played
Tottenham.
10 times for Brazil as well. Like he's actually a fully capped Brazil international.
The funniest
10
part
times.
about the Royale part is that is just a nickname that he gave himself as a child.
The Royale.
Yeah,
That's half of the Brazilian players.
I know.
Now it all makes sense.
But Royale, it's like, what are you trying to say, bro? You're not even.
His real name is Emerson Aparecido Leite de Souza Jr. I actually guessed with the de Souza part, and it turns out it's real.
It
Oliver,
sounds
did
like
you know that Mason Holgate plays for Jamaica
Birmingham
now?
boy.
What?
Mason Holgate plays for Jamaica?
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he got sent off. He got subbed on and then sent off.
Does he play for? Did he play for England Youth International?
Yeah, he played for Everton as well.
England under 21s. Yeah, he's on loan at West Brom, isn't he? So
yeah,
might be getting a promotion under his belt, maybe. International roundup done. Anyway, bring back club football.
The repair guy's here. I'm gonna dip out for a minute.
See you later. Don't let him back in. Should we do the Juve preview without him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we shall. This is a must-win. I'm going to call it a must-win. I think it was Costa Curta's done an interview today where he says it's like a must-not-lose, but we're at that point where we need to start clawing some points back, and it has to come in this game. Also, there has to be an element of taking revenge because of last season's shit show with the red card and the deflected Locatelli goal and then fluking that 1-0 win. But yeah, we're 8 points off top, 7 behind this lot, or 6? 6 behind this lot. So if we win, then we go 3 behind them with that game in hand to play against Bologna. So we're getting back towards parity with that. Also, it would help compact the top spots. And yeah, I think we can beat them. And it's not just because of what we showed in the Inter and Real Madrid games where we were like a bit different with those because we were underdogs going into those games. Whereas in this one, I think the fans will expect to show and will expect us to win at home against a team that I think many would argue and probably not as good as us on paper. But it's also like I don't know, it's like a clashing sort of like the Napoli game was of here's what you could have had with Thiago Motta coming to town. And, it was supposedly us versus Juve for him, but Juve moved earlier while we were fucking around with the Lopetegui stuff. And, by the time it came to it, he'd already agreed to go there. They spent some serious money this summer as well. They basically rebuilt their midfield with the Thuram, Douglas Luiz, and what was the other signing they made? Oh, Coop Miners, who, of course, has been out injured for a little bit. And they spent money in the attack as well with Conceição, and they signed a centre-back as well, didn't they?
Probably.
Can't remember.
My issue is, look, you lost to Conte's Napoli, and then if you lose to Thiago Motta's Juventus, it's like both the coaches that the fans requested. Oh,
just move it. Wait, try it now.
Good? Better?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, sorry about that. I had to cough when I hit it, and I might have fucked it up. But yeah, if you lose, you lost to Conte's Napoli. If you lose to Thiago Motta's Juventus, you lose to both the coaches the fans wanted in one season, in the first half of the season. And worst of all, you then go 9 points behind Juventus, who are only in 6th place. If we're 9 points outside of the top 6, that is catastrophic, especially heading into Thanksgiving. I mean, we're not even at the halfway point of the season. We're almost there, but not quite. And it's still fucking up.
Yeah, it's like all crackly. I don't know what's
you sound like Lorenzo in the pub chat.
Yeah, I'd like to apologise to everyone for that. He decided to record it through his -2nd generation AirPod Pros or whatever. Yeah, that was.
He has a prototype version.
Sound from him. We promise we're getting that fixed. I think he's going to.
Is my mic better now?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I think this is just like rubbing up against your shirt or something.
Yeah, it's sensitive in it.
Yeah, what it is this is a very high quality headset, but it's very old, and I don't take care of anything. When I finish the podcast, I throw it on the floor, and so I've damaged it quite a bit. And when I touch it, it gets all crackly. So it's got to be just right.
So what you're saying is it's not high quality anymore.
Yeah, anymore it's not. Yeah, but this is they're Astro A50s for the sound engineer in the chat. You could tell them.
This is
a solid. Yeah, this is a solid headset. I just
Yeah.
didn't treat it well, so it is what it is. It's also I got it I don't know 6 years ago, so I mean at this point it's probably not high quality anymore, to be honest.
When I used to have
they're like Lorenzo's AirPods.
Yeah, exactly.
When I used to have a PlayStation, it was always those versus Turtle Beaches. They were like the best head. Is it still the same now?
I have no idea, but that's why I got these. It was a coworker who was like a hardcore gamer who decided he wanted to not game anymore, and he said, "Hey, I have these nice headset. I don't want to game. If you take them off of me, it'll stop me from gaming." I said, "Deal." I looked them up. They were like $350, $400, and I was like, "All right, I'll take those."
That's insane.
And then I never talked to him again. Then the pandemic happened, and I moved and haven't spoken to him. So still,
I used to use my Beats. I would just do hard, and they were just fine.
Yeah. There you go.
Maddie, is this a must-win?
Yes. But I don't think that Fonseca will get fired if we lose. That's the sad part.
No, I don't either, to be honest.
But 9 points out of top 4 is like
out of top 6.
Out of top 6, that's worse. That's Napoli last season bad. That's worse.
And then it gets to the point where like we're clinging on to that game in hand, which might not even be a win, but you imagine the table with 3 points more for us, and you just about managed to convince yourself we're not yet fully cut off, even though it felt like it with the Napoli game and stuff. But if it becomes 9 even with the game in hand, it's so tough because the opportunity to really make up ground that you've lost on those teams is when you play them, and if you lose that game, then you don't deserve to be in the discussion, quite frankly.
And looking at the games that the top 6 have to play, obviously we're playing Juventus, but Lazio play Bologna, who's in 8th place, tied on points with us, and also is our game in hand. But besides that, there's no difficult games. You could kind of say Napoli against Roma might be hard, but Roma's in 12th with half the points of Napoli, so probably won't be hard.
I'm telling you, you can predict a Roma surge now Ranieri's gone back there. And there is absolutely nothing logical to point towards them all of a sudden becoming a good team apart from that. I can just see there being a bit of a feel-good factor and they can't possibly stay this bad. But they're still quite far off.
I mean, the point I'm making is this is a must-win for all the reasons where we are in the table and who we're up against, but also because if we don't, then the top 4 is going to be 12 clear. They're going to be so much further ahead of us. It's a scary indictment on our season.
The worrying thing for us is that our run of games from now until the end of 2024 after this one is not so bad on paper. And I say it's worrying because that's the ones where we drop the points. Yeah. But after Juventus, we have Slovan Bratislava away in the Champions League, hopefully 3 points. Empoli at home after that. Then we have Sassuolo in the Coppa Italia, so probably a chance to rotate for that. Probably get knocked out by him. Atalanta away is the other tough one on 6th of December. Then it's Red Star at home, Genoa at home, Verona away, and we end the year with Roma at home on the 29th of December. So if we can win this one, and we say it every time, there's a big game coming up, don't we? And it never happens. But if we can win this one, it's a chance to build some momentum heading towards the end of the year. And Pepe Di Stefano for Sky, he said something that might have been obvious to some people, but the stretch between now and the end of the year will literally decide the season. If it doesn't go well, then forget about it on every single front. But we need to win out in the Champions League. There's 2 games in January, but we need to keep going in that. We need to trim the gap to the teams at the top in the league, and then we'll see where we're at, I guess, going into the new year because we've got the Super Coppa early on in January. The team news for this one, Gazzetta are saying, as of this morning, that Fonseca is going to go to a 4-3-3. That's the plus side. The bad side is that the third midfielder is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. but I'll give it a look with him as a box-to-box player, like finally being played in his proper position. I guess it'll mean Fofana sits down the middle, Reinders on the other box-to-box, Loftus-Cheek on the right side of the 3, and then it'll be Pulisic, Morata, Leao across the front 3, and then I think it said it was going to be Emerson Royale's the right back, of course. Teo actually missed. Oh yeah, forgot about the French lads. Fofana didn't get called up, which is good. Rest for him. Maignan did really well last night against Italy. France needed to beat Italy by 2 goals at San Siro to top their Nations League group, and they beat them 3-1. So they did it. Adrien Rabiot scored a brace, and in the 94th minute, Moise Kean had a massive chance, and Maignan made a great save. So he's quite literally responsible for them topping the group. So that is good to see. And Teo missed that game because he has a knee problem, but it's just precautionary apparently. It's just a knock, and he's expected to play. So they got the back four down as Teo, then Tomori Gabbia centre back pairing, and Emerson Royale right back. How do you feel about that team? Yeah, Gabbia's back. He's the training now, actually, I believe. Fonseca gave the squad 4 days off: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're back in training today, and Gabbia is back to full training, I believe. So
when did he get back? Is today his first day back, or was it before this break?
He trained on Wednesday. There was a picture of him training on Wednesday, but it wasn't clear if it was with the group. But he's meant to be full training today, so he's got
That'll
5
be nice.
sessions.
Hopefully, he's back to where he was, because he was arguably our best center back prior to his injury. So, I like that back line. If Gabbia is still sharp, then it's a very good. Very good. Emerson's still there, but as good as it can be.
Do you have any temptation to play Pavlovic because it's Vlahovic?
Nope.
And he knows him?
Nope.
Because it works both ways?
Yep.
Yeah.
I also think, it's still Juventus. And a guy like Pavlovic just has penalty conceded written all over it.
Yeah, he probably tried too hard, if anything. Gabbia Tomori is, at the moment, for me, I think our best centre-back pairing. I think. Just in terms of what they've offered in the higher level games, but also because the others we've seen the lows have been too low. Pavlovic has found his way sort of at the bottom of the hierarchy now after some difficult performances. Positionally, he's all over the place. Chow has been good in a couple of games, in particular Real Madrid away. I thought he did well. However, I don't think you can play him alongside Gabbia. I don't know. Might be worth a look. But yeah, I don't know. I just want us to settle on a pairing, man, and go with it for a few games. I know
that's the hard part. Like, he changes it every game.
Yeah, I feel like
zero consistency.
That's exactly it. Like, in order to have an effective defense, we can talk all we want about the contribution of the fullbacks and about adding an extra body to midfield. I think the two centre backs that are playing with each other need to have some kind of chemistry and cohesion. And the reason that it's so obvious is the Lukaku goal for Napoli. Just parted like the Red Sea and gave him a channel to run down because didn't know whether to step up to him or whether to shuffle across. It's important. Like, you need to have what do you call it when you can't see it? Telepathic understanding. So where you are, you know that the partner's going to be in the right position, so you can step up to that ball or whatever. So we need a consistent pairing. I'm happy with that team. I think it's time that we do a 4-3-3. Feels like he's skirted around all the other formations, 4-2-3-1 into a 4-4-2 into a 3-4-3, and we've never seen the one that we're all crying out for. But I think this could give us a bit of balance. It might be that I remember Pioli did the thing when he first came in, where we went like 4-4-2, 4-3-2-1, 4-3-3 into a 4-2-3-1. And at the time, it was everybody saying he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what his favourite formation is. He doesn't know which players are best in which role. And then in retrospect, it became apparent that what he was doing was using all these different systems to like show the team a bit of how to play this particular way, to then settle down into one, and they'd learned everything from the other positions to be like, right, this is how we're going to do it. And we went on that mad lockdown run with the 4-2-3-1. So hopefully
it only works if it doesn't last half the season.
yeah, maybe so. Let's hope we don't have another COVID break as well. I've seen some stuff about bird flu doing the rounds.
Honestly, I'd welcome it, given how our last lockdown went for us. It might be good.
Yeah, I'm just bored of international football, really. But whatever, if it has to be, go back to betting on virtual horse racing and stuff like that. That's always fun.
The days, man.
So Juve this season can't really score a goal, can they?
They've scored more than us, haven't they?
Goals for 21-20. Yeah, obviously we've got a game less, but they've only let in 7. Their defense is their strength. Obviously, they've got the best defense in the league by a couple of goals.
Oh, they haven't lost a game yet, so there's that too.
Yeah, 6-6-0.
They're about to lose their first.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? They beat Torino in the derby
in the Champions League, but
and they got battered as well. Actually, they got battered in that game. I think Stuttgart showed what a team with intensity and good counter pressing can do. Without getting too technical, the way that Stuttgart played that game was kind of like exactly what you'd expect from a Bundesliga team. Very high energy, and they got the ball into the front 3 players very quickly. And Juve, because of the quality, or rather, I guess also the limitations of their team, they need everything to be happening in front of them to be comfortable, because they do play quite deep and they are happy to pass the ball around at the back. When you've got a back line of Cambiasso, Kalulu's in there now because of Bremer's injury, but Gatti, the Danilo as well. In fact, is he injured? I can't remember. And Cabal's done his ACL as well. So they're a little bit thin on the ground defensively, but we need to spin him around. We need to use the pace of Lyon. We need to use the directness of Pulisic. And Morata loves scoring against former clubs. So there is that in there that gives me hope for him starting up front.
A lot of injuries right now. It says Nico Gonzalez, Milik, Vasily Adjic. I don't even know who that is. Douglas Luiz. Yeah. Juan Cabral and then Bremer. But Danilo's still in. Danilo's fine, it says.
Oh, Danilo's fine.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be Danilo Kalulu or Danilo Gatti, I guess, for that.
We should recall Kalulu this week just for the laughs.
And just pay the fine.
Yeah.
Agreed. But they've been playing Locatelli, Kefren Turam as the midfield double pivot. Koopmeiners is fine. He's back now after a bit of an injury absence. He's been playing as the 10. Tim Weah as the right winger because Nico Gonzalez can't stay fit. I think he's been doing okay, hasn't he? Weah this season. Scored a few. He scored at San Siro in that 4-4 with Inter. That was another game where I looked at the Juve team and thought, for all that they've only conceded 7 goals all season, they let in 4 of them in that one game, and it's like that shows you what you can do if you just spin them around.
Yeah.
Yildiz, of course,
Yildiz been good.
He's talented. This could be his breaking out season, really, after being on the edges for a little bit. And then Vlahovic up front, we know he scored against us in the past, and that's one thing as well. He gave Gabbia a really tough time when he was at Fiorentina, and they put 4 past us that time. But let's hope that Gabbia's learnt. Confident.
I think we'll win. I'm predicting a win.
I'll go 2-2.
Telling you, if you're a betting person, this is an absolute guaranteed banker of a 0-0 game. They're going to come for a 0-0 and they're going to get one. That's my really, really boring, hope I'm wrong prediction. But I just think that, I know Juve aren't exactly where they want to be either, while ever they're in 6th in the table, but the table's very tight at the top. 2 points separate them from top. So they would see coming to San Siro, playing Inter and us and getting 2 points from the 2 games has probably been a bit of a success because they'll back themselves to win other games against lower opponents. I could just see them coming, playing incredibly defensive, trying to hit us on the counter, but we're wary of that. And we know that if we go behind, then we're going to struggle to get back into it. I see 2 teams cancelling each other out. I can see it being a 0-0. I'm going to say it, and this could age really, really badly, but I don't see a way we lose this game. I don't.
I see a lot of ways we lose this game.
I mean, we've only lost once in our last 6.
Yeah.
They haven't exactly been.
And that was the red card game.
Yeah.
I think we win 3-1. And 2 Americans score.
Weah and Musa?
Pulisic and Pulisic's brother?
Pulisic's brother. Musa.
No. Musa's probably not going to start, is he?
No.
Off the bench?
I don't know
Tim
how
Weah
this game's going to go. Yeah. I think it'll be...
Unless Weston McKennie plays.
Oh, fuck, I forgot McKennie was there too, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of Americans in this one. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was the same last time we played them. I think there was 5 in it, but I can't remember.
Definitely
I don't
only
know who the
4.
others would have been.
Yeah, I don't know who the third would be.
We played
You
them
mean the
once and
fifth?
there was more. I think it might have been Dest when we had Dest. So maybe it was the season before last.
We
there was
didn't
like
have
more.
Musa with
Or
Dest, though.
Pulisic.
Hmm,
Yeah, Dest was by himself.
no, man. Don't know. Yeah, maybe it was just 4 then. But yeah, we need to win this one. We need to get 3 points in this one. And San Siro is going to be sold out. Gazzetta said there's a chance that this actually breaks the record for the highest ever earning game. I don't know if people saw at the time when they released the ticket prices for this. And I know it's something where us 3 don't necessarily... Well, me and you 2 don't see eye to eye on the ticket price thing, but it caused a lot of issues at the time when they released the prices for this particular game. But it's going to be a sellout. So,
I want to say AJ and I don't support high ticket prices. We just ask people not to cry about it because they don't understand.
Shocked. But I will say, when I saw the ticket prices for this one, given the form that both teams are in, I thought it was pretty ridiculous.
I think it was a little payback for the game last season.
And that's probably most likely because Juventus did jack up the prices for Milan specifically in the away game last year.
Yeah, but they punished the home fans, and I don't really like that. The issue is like I think that you can still have like a dynamic pricing thing, not like in the Ticketmaster way, but I think you still have a section of affordable tickets. The ones for the cover, and then you do family deals or whatever. And I think you can still have a percentage of tickets that are very expensive for the people who want to go and have a luxurious experience. Your club seats, your first tier seats above the dugout, charge what you want for them because those are the people that have the money to pay it and you can rinse them and they don't care. It's a big game, whatever. But I just think that there is a section of the fan base that you need to kind of look after. But some would hit back and say, well, they've had the cheapest season tickets for some time now. But then also we're in the Champions League and we're charging astronomical prices for Liverpool at home. So like
I agree, but it's still a sellout. So if people weren't buying tickets, then that would speak for itself. But people are still buying the tickets, right?
They are, and I guess the club would point back to any fans complaining and say, look, this is going to make us the most money of any game this season. Maybe the home derby might top it. But yeah, it's going to make us a lot of money that goes into the club's accounts. It's going to help us build a better squad. But we kind of need to see that.
But we don't spend the money.
Yeah,
so.
Well, that's it, isn't it, right? So like, it's proportional to the product you're seeing on the field. And at the moment, we haven't seen a brilliant product for a while now. A trophy would be nice. I'd pay extra if there was a trophy being presented.
We play Juventus in the Super Cup in January too. So
yes, we do.
Twice. We play them again in the league and then the Super Cup in January.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah. Let's move on then. What are we doing here? What we got here? All right.
Cues.
Let's do some listener cues. Listener cues. Could do again. The tweet up, couldn't I? So the first question that we've got on the Twitter comes from Gregory Peck. And this is a question for our 2 favourite American Milan fans. Do you lads know who they are?
No.
Will Milan sign the next upcoming talent? So I think what he's saying here is who is a good American talent that Milan could go out and sign. Is that Ricardo Pepi doing quite well?
Yeah,
Ricardo Pepi is good, but I wouldn't go for him.
Is he a winger?
He's a striker. The player I'd go for right now, if we had to go for another American, was someone we already were linked with in the past, but Anthony Robinson.
Bingo.
Oh yeah.
Just get rid of Emerson. We don't need him, and be good to go.
I think with Robinson as well, because I always thought there's 2 ways you could go about the left back thing in terms of signing a deputy for Teo. The first one is you sign someone who is really good, who could actually genuinely challenge him for the spot. And that way, when you sign him, you're more likely to recruit a better player because you're saying, like, you're not an absolute backup for us. You can have a go at his starting spot. And then you've also got cover if Teo leaves. If he decides he doesn't want to renew, the starter just steps up. Or you keep rotating between these kind of cheap, genuine deputy options like Ballatore. There was an article on site. If you search Laxalt, you'll find it because I put him in the headline. But basically, every deputy to Teo we've ever had, there was like Ricardo Rodriguez, who we took the starting spot from, Laxalt, Serginho Dest, of course, did the job every now and again. Fode Ballatore. Now we're on to like Terracciano and stuff. So but Robinson is a brilliant shout. I really like that one.
And I think he could play right back as well, which is more where
He's left-footed, isn't he? But yeah.
I mean, I know he plays like exclusively left back, but I think he could do right back as well and just replace Emerson and actually be a starter, or do the backup Teo thing.
Who is America's right back? Is it Musa?
Joe Scally. Scally's good too. He's
he
just
plays
young.
in the Bundesliga, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were linked with him.
He's like 20 or something.
Freiburg, I think. Is it?
I couldn't tell you.
No, Mönchengladbach.
I think their colors are black and white.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Mönchengladbach, yep.
Yeah. And then I don't know about the name.
He's not bad, but he's just young. He's 21. I thought he was 20.
There's Johnny Cardozo who plays in La Liga.
Yeah.
Spurs have
We've been linked with him.
to sign him though.
How strange was that, by the way?
Oh, very weird. Spurs paid them to have the right to be the first team to negotiate to sign him or some shit. Some weird stuff.
Yeah. And I don't even know how that would work. So, because we've been linked with him by quite a few sources. If we put a bid in for him in January, I guess Spurs have to be informed, and then they have the chance to match it.
Yeah.
I presume that's how it works. But then, if they say no, I guess that means we're in. But Cardoso's an interesting player. I haven't watched an awful lot of him, but when the links came up, I looked at his stats, and actually his stats are pretty good for Betis. And he's at that age 23 where he might be looking to make the leap to a proverbial bigger club. Obviously, we can offer Champions League football, whereas Spurs can. And, there are certain things that could work in our favour. And also, he's got a Spanish passport, I believe. So, wouldn't be a non-EU player. So he might be somebody to keep an eye on. Apart from that, I'm not really aware of any other Americans that would like this.
I think those are the only that I would like to see in the team. There's other players who are good, but it's we don't need any center back. I mean, we do, but we need consistency. We don't need change,
I think
right?
Malik Tillman is a good up-and-comer, but he's a left wing. He's not going to start overly out ever, so there's really no point to even go for him. But.
Yeah. I was like Tanner Tessman, in the few bits of him that I've seen. But he's raw, and obviously he went to Lyon in the summer, and they're about to have a fire sale. So
maybe
might be worth having a look at them. Yeah.
Poor guy. That sucks.
It sucks for all of them because they're getting punished for something that's nothing to do with them. And
they're doing good in the league, aren't they? Third right now.
Yeah, and they're in Europe. They're doing quite well in the Europa League, I think. So. Yeah, they're getting punished for something that's nothing to do with them, and they've got to play out the rest of the season knowing that their fate is pretty much already sealed.
Question. Say they win Europa League, and then they get relegated. You think they just stay and be a League 2 team in the Champions League?
You're Mike.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
No, they can, I believe, because the punishment is only domestic. But I guess the issue then becomes, have they also broken FFP by being in such a financial mess? My guess is that because it's is it a conditional relegation? There's something strange about it. Provisional, yeah, and it's because of how bad their accounts are, and that's why everyone's saying about them selling a load of players in January. I think they might just do was it Bordeaux or Toulouse? Just sell a load of fucking players and try your best to get above the line and hope for the best and just rely on kids. But Saint Etienne, I think, as well, struggled financially. There's a few French teams that are big clubs that have been very, very close to going under. Gregory Peck, second part of his question. Are you surprised they haven't done an Amazon or Paramount Plus doc series on Milan yet?
No. Well, Christian Pulisic has one coming out very soon. It's following him this time at Milan and up to the 2026 World Cup. So there'll be a lot of Milan stuff in that, but it's not specific to Milan.
I'm not surprised there hasn't been one yet because I don't think there's been anything to celebrate. Now it depends how they'd want to do it because I know there's
a Juve one.
Yeah, all or nothing.
Yeah,
which was good.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that.
It ended in the last episode was us beating them for the first time in ages or whatever, that 3-0 game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sunderland Till I Die was really good.
Oh, mate, brilliant series. You know the guy, remember in that, the guy who came in as the CEO and he tried to change the walkout music to some rave trance thing. Well, he's now the CEO at Charlton and he was on a podcast that I listened to the other day and he had some very, very interesting things to say. about like women's football and stuff. But yeah, what a fascinating bloke. I just remember everybody at Sunderland hating him because here comes this Cockney trying to change everything about the club, and then they got relegated anyway. But that was a genuinely brilliant series.
Yeah, it's such a risky move to just say like wholesale changes in the entire, ethos and foundations of a club, and it's like this is either going to work out and we're going to be like, okay, you were right, or it's going to fucking crash and burn, and it's like fuck you, and that's what happened. You're
not welcome in the place
anymore,
ever again. Although I suppose with Sunderland, that's fine with that. What are your thoughts on Boban's criticisms of American owners saying that they do not respect the values of Italian football?
He's probably right.
What are the values?
Yeah,
corruption. What he said. I'd say that's number one.
That's definitely one of them. Yeah, one of the pillars. No, I mean he's probably right. I don't think they intentionally are disrespecting.
AJ, your mic sounds really bad.
Sorry, just move your mic again.
I'll have to get a new one. How about now? Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully.
I don't think they intentionally are disrespecting it. I think they go in with the right idea that they see something that's an aging, almost failing product, and they say like, we could bring you to the modern day. We could change this shit. And a lot of it will be for the better, whether the fans want to admit it or not. There's a lot of things that are also negative, which is what Boban's talking about. And that's a lot of the, fuck your feelings sort of deal that they're doing. It's a lot more of like, look, this is how you make money. This is how you run a business. This is what we're going to do, because otherwise every single club in this entire league is going bankrupt. And that's probably the right thing to do. But as a fan, as someone like Boban, who is, more a part of it than anyone else, you're going to look at that and be like, this isn't how we do it. Like, what are you doing here? And sometimes you need someone to come into the industry and be a disruptor. Sometimes that backfires and you have the guy like Sunderland, like we just talked about. So yet to be seen. But are they disrespecting it? Yes. Is it intentional? Probably not.
Yeah. Jerry Cardinale is Italian, right? Just like Martino is?
Okay. Yeah. Just like Martino. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly can't remember what exactly it was that he said, to be honest. I just looked for the interview now to try and find the exact quotes, but I can't find it. If I find it, then I'll put it in the thing. But just as a general point, whether Boban said something about American ownership or not, the only way for Italian football to move forward, kind of as you've alluded to there, is for these disruptors to come in and modernize the entire thing. Like, you need experts to come in who are used to handling massive TV rights deals, who are used to building stadiums, who have experienced like very high level corporate environments, rather than your Lotitos and your De Laurentiis types who are very happy with things to stick to the status quo because that means that they still have their power in and around Lega Serie A. It can't carry on like this. We've seen the difficulties that the league is having keeping up with the other elite leagues around Europe. And I say other because it really isn't. Like, it's been on the outside. Serie A has been on the outside looking in for some time now. It doesn't get anywhere near the same eyes as the Premier League or La Liga. Even the Bundesliga has a much bigger rights deal. It's only really above Liga. So there's definitely potential for it to grow, because we've seen in the 90s that Italian football has a charm that people want to tap into, but it's literally every front that it's behind on, every single front, you can't even point at like, I don't know, you can't even look at sort of the leading teams within it and say, oh, look at Inter, they're doing so well going far in Europe with their young squad that plays football the right way. It's not. It's an old squad that plays a 5-man defense, and you know what I mean. Like, there's nothing about it that you think Italian football is pushing the frontier. Like, it's moving forward. I think that the influx of American ownership, foreign ownership in general, like, I kind of hope there's a bit of Middle Eastern money that comes in as well. And I don't say that because, like, from a sports washing point of view, that's all a separate debate. But just so somebody comes in and like actually bankrolls a club, hopefully us, and they're like, right, we're going to put them right back in the elite. Like, however much money it takes, that's what we're going to do, and that's the way to get Italian football back on the map. Is to make them like that.
I think a lot of the change has to come not actually from the team ownership level, but at the Italian bureaucracy level. Why is there issues right now? The stadium. Why do we not have a stadium? The mayor of Milan. It's stuff like that. The silly red tape. the growth decree getting removed and brought back and then removed and then brought back. Like all these kind
And
of
we still don't know where we are with it.
Yeah, we have no idea. All these silly things that the owners have no control over. I mean, they get a vote, but their votes is equal to the votes of the smaller clubs who are never going to win anything and are, like you said, just happy to continue with the status quo because they're the only ones who actually benefit from it. Because whether they have modern football and ownership or not, they're never winning the Champions League. They're never winning the Serie A. So Lotito has no reason to say, why would I sell my passion project? I'm synonymous with this club, basically a celebrity because of the club. Why would he get rid of that so that they could still not win anything? You know, if it was like, oh, they're going to come in and take over and we're winning the Champions League, then okay, maybe he steps back as a fan and someone who loves Lazio and that happens. But that's not the case. It's never going to change. So it needs to be from the inside out, and the outside is the club ownership. The inside is the country. That's what needs to change.
Yeah. Basically every level. Like an ownership can only go so far before they encounter an awful lot of red tape.
Well, it's why PIF and all those other funds looked at Serie A, looked at Milan and Inter and Juventus, and said, "I'm not touching this." Like, because who's the first club that they think of when they think of, I want to buy a team that's prestigious that I could bring back the glory? It's obviously an Italian team.
Yeah.
Then they get there and they go, "Oh, all this red tape, like all these loops to jump through. I'm not dealing with this shit. I'll just go to the Premier League and pay off the referees. That's fine." And then they go in there and then they do their thing, and you know,
good old Coots, yeah.
Are you sure that's not Italy?
I mean,
yeah,
you
can do that in Italy.
But,
yeah,
but the most recent one who got caught was in England. So
yeah,
he was getting paid off.
He just didn't like Klopp, and I don't think many of us did.
Or Liverpool.
Maddie, how do you feel about Everton getting bought by the Friedkins?
Better than John Textor, who just got Lyon relegated. So feeling fine.
And then there was the 777 lot from Genoa who have now run out of money. Yeah. Final question.
I mean,
Andrew
I think that Roma will be fine. You know, so it's all gonna be fine.
They're not running them particularly well, though, are they? I think that's the
third manager.
No, but their president quit because they had to fire Totti. So like
De Rossi.
Yeah, right. My bad.
Yeah. That's turned into a real mess. That they've really disrespected the club legend with the way that they handled everything. Remember Ewan, who is obviously a SempreMilan writer but a Roma fan. He was saying that he did not understand why they were giving De Rossi a long-term contract towards the end of last season, even when they were on that good run, because it was only ever going to end one way. Either he has a drop off and gets fired, or he has a massive drop off and gets fired. Because there was no way they were going to keep that same run going. Never. You know, to give him a 3-year deal as well. I mean, that's potentially him never going back, which is strange.
I mean, with Gattuso, it worked out perfect because he stepped down and he said, "Don't pay me." Right?
Yeah, I don't know what the situation was with De Rossi. Actually, maybe he did the same, but as far as I know,
I think he got fired.
Yeah.
Americans are ruthless. They don't care about tradition. Like,
that's probably what Boban's talking about. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Full circle moment.
But that was the thing about the Boban comments that I didn't want to mention because I'd need to see what he said. It's not jogged my memory. But he's probably thinking about the Maldini point of view too, right? He's going to speak in favor of his mates, and the Americans fired his mates. So, you know.
Well,
we know
him too. Like, let's not forget, he also got
he got
fired
himself sacked.
Yeah, 100%. And a guy who gets himself sacked for the things he says is definitely going to have fiery comments about the people who fired him for the things he said. So
yeah. He did. I remember he did one interview he did give recently. He said something like, "Well, I can't say too much because the case is still in court." And then went on a big rant, not about the ownership, but about why he said what he felt like he had to say and stuff. But obviously that was Elliot, wasn't it? All right, we'll wrap it up there. Done an hour. Not so bad with only one game to talk about. Thank you, everybody, for listening during the international break. Really appreciate it. We'll be back later in a week with a bonus episode, bonus podcast episode with the topic yet to be decided. Just had a complete brain fade then. That was strange. It was like I was having a stroke.
Like, what is this guy saying right now?
Honestly, I thought the call dropped. I thought my internet went out because you just went silent.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Bonus pod later in the week. Still to decide the topic, so it'll be a nice surprise for you all. Back next week with main podcast episode. In the meantime, I've been your host, Ollie Fisher. Find me on Twitter at Ollie Fisher. AJ, cheers for joining.
See ya.
Mad Dog.
Till next week.
Gol! Ancora Teo! È una meraviglia! Il gol di Teo Hernandez da un'area all'altra! È una meraviglia! Senti il mio cuore!